He fought to save his wife. But the prize was an untouchable alien warrior. Fragile, too predictable, perfect for manual labor, terrible for entertainment. Final contestant inspection barked a four-armed Sarkean guard, its translucent skin revealing pulsing organs beneath. Human stepped forward. Darian kept his gaze steady, swallowing the bile rising in his throat. 6 solar cycles ago, the message had come from the medical facility on Terrace Prime. His wife, Elena's condition had deteriorated. The experimental gene therapy would cost 80,000 credits, money they didn't have, money no human could earn legally in the outer systems. But the Blood Arena's champion purse was exactly that amount. "This one won't last 3 minutes, laughed a hulking Verconian spectator as Darian was scanned. Soft flesh, brittle bones. The medical implant behind Darian's ear buzzed, a reminder of Elena's constant pain transmitted across light years. He programmed it to share her suffering, a decision the doctors called madness. To him, it was the only way to carry her burden while they were apart. "Contestants to holding cells," announced the Arena Eye. "Combat sequence begins in 30 minutes. Darian flexed his fingers, feeling the black market combat stems beginning to work through his system. Not enough to register on scans, just enough to give him a fighting chance. Illegal, of course. Everything about his presence here was illegal. The arena's transparent ceiling revealed 3 moons hanging in a violet sky. Somewhere beyond those moons was a small medical station where Elena lay in stasis, her body slowly failing from the Proyan virus, a disease that ravaged human nervous systems but barely affected most alien species. "You're either brave or stupid," whispered a voice. A tall, slender figure stood in the shadows of the adjacent cell, covered head to toe in dark fabric, only golden eyes visible through a narrow slit in the headdress. "Both," Darian replied, eyeing the mysterious figure cautiously. "They've paired. You against a Cathy Berserker first round." The golden eyes blinked slowly. "No human has ever survived a Cathy." Darian's mouth went dry. "I don't need to beat him, just survive long enough." "For what?" "The credits?" A soft musical laugh. "Even if you win, the Syndicate never pays what they promise." The horns blared. Cell doors began to open. "Watch his left side," the veiled figure said quickly. "Cathy have a respiratory weakness below their 3rd rib plate. Strike there when he exhales." Before Darian could respond, he was shoved into blinding light, the roar of the crowd washing over him like a physical force. Across the blood-stained arena floor, his opponent emerged, 8 FT of armored reptilian muscle wielding twin ceremonial blades. The Cathy roared, revealing rows of serrated teeth. Darian thought of Elena's smile, the warmth of her hand in his. He thought of her eyes, the exact color of Earth's sky, which neither of them had seen since the Exodus. "Begin," thundered the announcer. The Cathy charged, and Darian Voss prepared to die for the woman he loved. Blood dripped from Darian's split lip as he stood trembling in the victor's circle. 4 opponents lay defeated behind him. The Cathy Berserker, a pair of Corellini twins, and finally the reigning champion, a cybernetically enhanced Thraxian mercenary. Against impossible odds, the human had survived. "The arena acknowledges Darren Voss of Earth," announced the Syndicate overseer, a tall Varaxian whose translucent skull revealed pulsating brain matter. "Your purse is prepared." The crowd's reaction was mixed, some cheering the underdog victory, others hissing at the loss of their wagers. Darian barely heard them. Every muscle screamed in agony. 3 ribs were certainly broken. The combat stems were wearing off, leaving him lightheaded and nauseated. "However," the overseer continued, mandibles clicking with amusement, "as per arena regulation, your winnings must be claimed in full." A side door opened. 2 guards escorted the veiled figure Darian had spoken with earlier. Up close, he noticed how the other aliens kept their distance, their body language showing fear. 80,000 credits bound to ownership of Acquisition 7329, known as Nera of the Void Realm. Murmurs rippled through the audience. Darian's heart sank. "I need the credits transferred," he said. "My wife—" "Impossible," interrupted the overseer. "The female comes with the credits. They are inseparable. The golden eyes behind the veil fixed on Darian. He felt a strange pressure at the edges of his consciousness, like fingers brushing against his thoughts. "No one wants this one," whispered a nearby attendant. 3 previous owners disappeared. The last was found as ash. Darian looked at the mysterious Nera, then at the credit chip in the overseer's hand. Elena had days, perhaps hours left. "I'll take both," he said firmly. The Varaxian's inner membranes fluttered in what might have been surprise. "Your funeral, human." Minutes later, Darian limped through the lower corridors of the arena complex, Nera walking silently beside him. The credit chip felt heavy in his pocket. "You should have requested medical attention," she said finally, her voice carrying that same musical quality he'd noticed earlier. "No time." Darian winced as he triggered the door to the public transport hub. "Need to book passage to Terrace Prime. The syndicate will be tracking both the credits and me. You won't make it off-world through official channels," Nera said. Darian stopped, turning to face her. "Look, I don't want to own anyone. Once we're away from here, you can go wherever you want, but I need to reach my wife." Nera's head tilted, slightly. "Your mind speaks truth, unusual for your kind." Before Darian could respond, she removed her outer veil. Her face was humanoid but unmistakably alien. Skin like polished obsidian with luminescent patterns tracing her cheekbones. Most striking were her eyes, solid gold with no visible pupils, yet somehow expressive. "I am not what they told you," she said softly. "I am Nera Valsharon, rightful heir to the Void Throne, and I believe I can help your wife, Darian Voss, if you will help me first." The underbelly of Cavan Spaceport crawled with smugglers, refugees, and those who made there, living in the margins between galactic powers. Darian kept his head down as he followed Nera through a maze of cramped corridors and makeshift markets, his wounds patched with cheap medigel that burned like fire. "You're Elena," Nera said as they ducked into an abandoned storage unit. "Her condition. Proyan virus, final stage." Darian nodded grimly. "How did you—" "I glimpsed it when our minds touched." Nera's golden eyes shifted to the door. "Movement. 3 syndicate trackers, armed. How are they following us?" Darian checked the stolen blaster they'd acquired from an unfortunate security guard. "The credit chip is tagged," Nera replied, "and I leave an energy signature those sensitive to void energies can detect." Outside, heavy footsteps approached. Nera placed her hand against the wall, and the luminescent patterns on her skin pulsed. Darkness seemed to pull around her fingers. "What are you?" Darian whispered. "My people control the spaces between stars," she said. "The void bends to our will. It's why the syndicate kept me. They hope to weaponize my abilities." The door rattled. With a fluid motion, Nera pushed Darian behind her and extended her hand. The darkness surged forward, enveloping the door. Screams erupted, then silence. "We should move," she said calmly, as if she hadn't just obliterated 3 armed pursuers. Later, huddled in the cargo vault of a smuggler's vessel, Darian activated his implant. Elena's pain washed through him, duller now, which terrified him, more than the sharp agony of before. Her consciousness was fading. "She doesn't have long," he murmured. Nera watched him, her expression unreadable. "Why do you share her suffering? It serves no purpose." "It reminds me what I'm fighting for," Darian answered. "What's your story? Why were you imprisoned?" Nera was quiet for so long Darian thought she wouldn't answer. "I was betrayed by my twin brother," she finally said. "Arkan craved the throne. When I discovered he had allied with the syndicate to enslave border worlds, he arranged my capture, and now he's hunting you to finish the job," Darian concluded. Nera nodded. "As is the rebellion that opposed us both. I am complicated for many factions." The ship lurched as it entered hyperspace. Darian found himself studying Nera's face. The elegant contours, the mesmerizing patterns that shifted with her emotions. "If we reach Terrace Prime," he said, "what then?" "I help save your Elena. Nera replied. Her hand moved hesitantly toward his, stopping just short of touching. But first, we must survive the journey. Their eyes met, an unspoken current passing between them, recognition of two souls far from home, bound by circumstance but perhaps something more. The medical facility on Terrace Prime gleamed like a jewel against the planet's rust-colored landscape. From their vantage point in the hills, Darian watched supply ships land and depart with meticulous precision. "Elena's in there," he said, the implant behind his ear throbbing dully. "Security's tight, military-grade scanners, armed personnel." Nera stood beside him, her dark skin absorbing the ruddy sunlight. Over their 2-day journey, she'd revealed more of her abilities. Manipulating shadows, sensing life forms through walls, bending light around herself to become nearly invisible. "I can get us past the perimeter," she said. "But Darian, I sense a trap." His heart sank. Arkin? Or the Syndicate? Or the Rebellion? Her golden eyes narrowed. "All want what I represent." Darian checked their stolen shuttle's fuel reserves. "We could leave, find another facility. Your wife won't survive transfer." Nera's voice was gentle but firm. "You know this." The truth of her words stung. Elena had days at most. This facility was her only hope, with its specialized equipment and the precious treatment that waited within. "I'll create a distraction," Darian decided, loading his blaster. "You get inside, and no." Nera placed her hand on his arm, the first time she'd voluntarily touched him. Her skin was surprisingly warm. "We go together." That night, as they prepared for infiltration, the shuttle's proximity alarm blared. 3 warships descended from orbit, sleek, predatory vessels bearing the royal insignia of the Void Realm. "Arkin," Nera whispered, her patterns pulsing with anger. Darian's comm unit crackled. A voice, clinical, detached, came through. "Patient Elena Voss, condition critical. Treatment window closing. Proceed immediately for final opportunity." They were out of time. "I'll hold them off," Nera said. Suddenly, "My brother's forces are here for me, not you." "That's suicide," Darian protested. "I've survived worse." Her lips curved in a sad smile. "Go to her, Darian. Save your wife." He looked between the approaching ships and the medical facility, torn between the woman he'd sworn to save and the woman who'd become something he hadn't expected. "Come with me," he pleaded. "We'll find another way." "There is no other way." Nera's patterns glowed brighter. "Choose, human. Your heart or your oath." In that moment, Darian saw the future branch before him. 2 paths, 2 lives, 2 possibilities. Elena, his anchor to humanity, to Earth, to everything he'd been. Nera, a doorway to something vast and unknown. The warships grew larger in the sky. Time had run out. Darian made his choice. 6 months later, the small vessel known as Second, Chance drifted through the Cygnus expanse, running dark to avoid detection. Inside, Elena Voss adjusted the nutrient flow to the hydroponics bay, her once frail hands now steady and sure. The experimental treatment had worked better than anyone predicted. The Proyan virus was gone. Her body rebuilt cell by cell through a combination of advanced medical science and something more mysterious. "Ship sensors detect patrol vessels," announced the AI. "Avoiding. Recommended take us deeper into the nebula," Elena directed. The colors of space swirled outside the viewscreen. Magnificent purples and blues ignited by distant stars. The door slid open. Darian entered carrying maintenance tools. His face, once gaunt with worry, had filled out again. New scars marked his arms, souvenirs from their narrow escape from Terrace Prime. "Engine modifications are holding," he reported, setting down the tools to embrace his wife. "We're running at 94% efficiency." Elena leaned into his arms. "Nera meditating? The void energies are stronger here. She's trying to locate rebellion outposts." Their lives had changed irreversibly the day Darian had refused to choose. Instead, he'd commandeered a medical transport, racing to the facility while Nera created a diversion that decimated half of Arkin's fleet. "She saved us both," Elena said softly. I still don't understand why. Footsteps approached, lighter, graceful. Nara appeared in the doorway, her golden eyes luminous in the ship's dim lighting, the patterns on her skin pulsing slowly, peacefully. I found you both interesting, she said with the hint of a smile, a rarity in several thousand years of existence. Elena extended her hand, and Nara joined them. The three stood together, an impossible trinity, a human couple and an alien royal, fugitives and rebels. Arkan's forces are gathering near the hegemony border, Nara reported. The rebellion is growing. They still wish me to lead them. And, will you? Darian asked, his arms still around Elena but his eyes fixed on Nara. Not alone. Her patterns brightened. We three have shown what becomes possible when different worlds truly unite. Their relationship had evolved beyond conventional, understanding, deeper than friendship, more complex than romance, bound by shared survival and growing affection. Elena and Nara had formed their own connection, distinct yet complementary to what each shared with Darian. The coordinates I received indicate a gathering of resistance leaders from 12 systems, Nara continued. With your permission, I set course. Elena smiled. From dying in a medical facility to sparking interstellar revolution, life takes unexpected turns. Darian looked between the two women. One his past and present, the other his unexpected future, both now intertwined in ways none of them had imagined. The Syndicate, the Void Throne, the border worlds, they all think in terms of ownership and control, he said. Maybe it's time the galaxy learned a different way. Outside, the nebula parted, revealing a field of stars, countless possibilities, countless paths. Together, the three fugitives faced them unafraid, their small ship carrying not just their lives but a vision of something new among the ancient stars. As they plotted their course toward an uncertain future, one thing remained clear. Sometimes the greatest treasures come disguised as unwanted prizes, and the greatest journeys begin with impossible choices.